I've never done this before. Over 500 videos, this is a first. I'm going to read to you from an essay by Devid Kelley of the Atlas Society. I believe he's a founder. Something that Americans need to keep in mind with any election and all the governance beyond an election. Kelley writes, "To live by reason, we must accept productiveness as a virtue. Production is the act of creating value. Human beings cannot live secure and fulfilling lives by finding what they need in nature, as other animals do, nor can they live as parasites on others." Kelley continues, "The purpose of independent productiveness is to enable each person to achieve, maintain, fulfill, and enjoy that ultimate value, that end in itself, which is his own life." That sounds very randist. I'll get to that at the end. Thus, Kelley writes, the purpose of ethics is to tell us how to achieve our real interests, not how to sacrifice our interests. But how then should we deal with others? The principle of rights says that we must deal with others peaceably by voluntary exchange without initiating the use of force against another. It is only in this way that we can live independently on the basis of our own productive efforts. The person who attempts to live by controlling others is a parasite. Living by trade, offering value for value, neither seeking nor granting the unearned, is honorable. An honorable person does not offer his needs as a claim on others. That's what socialists do. He offers value as the basis of any relationship. Nor does an honorable person accept an unchosen obligation to serve the needs of others. He may do the needs of others, but he is not acting with that as his primary goal. No one who values his own life can accept an open-ended responsibility to be his brother's keeper, nor to be led by a master, kept by a master, or kept by the Department of Health and Human Services. The principle of trade is the only basis on which humans can deal with each other as independent equals. Kelley continues, a capitalist society is based on the recognition and protection of individual rights. In a capitalist society, men and women are free to pursue their own ends by the exercise of their own minds. Men are constrained by the laws of nature. Food, shelter, clothing, books, and medicine, they don't grow on trees. They must be produced. And men are also constrained by the limitations of their own nature, the extent of their individual ability. Only the social constraint that capitalism imposes is the requirement that those who wish the services of others must offer some value in return. No one may use the state to steal what others have produced. The concept of justice applies not to the outcome, but to the process of economic activity. A person's income is just if it is won through voluntary exchange as a reward for value offered, as judged by those to whom it is offered. That's how prices work and how markets work. There's no such thing as a just price for a good apart from the judgments of market participants about the value of the good to them. Kelley's last set. What about someone who's poor, disabled, or otherwise unable to support himself? It is a legacy of altruism to think that the primary standard by which to evaluate a society is the way it treats its least productive members. Blessed are the poor in spirit, said Jesus. Blessed are the meek. But there is no ground in justice for holding the poor or the meek in any special esteem. My take is, blessed are the meek as much as the well-to-do, the more assertive. but not inherently more so. That is consistent with Jesus' teachings. If we had chosen between a collective society which no one is free but no one's hungry versus an individualist society in which everyone is free but a few people starve, Kelley would argue that the second society, the free one, is the moral choice. No one can claim a right to make others serve him. But this is not the choice we face, says Kelley. In fact, the poor are much better off under capitalism than under socialism, or even under the welfare state. As a matter of historical fact, societies in which no one is free, like the former Soviet Union, are societies in which large numbers of people go hungry. We all have an interest in technical and economic growth. The investment of capital and the use of machinery make it possible to employ people who otherwise could not produce enough to support themselves. Computers, communications equipment make it possible for severely disabled people to work from their homes. He finishes off by saying, if freedom is to survive and flourish, we need a revolution, a moral revolution that establishes the moral right of the individual to live for himself. We've had 3 prior revolutions that have helped us along the way. This is the 4th that he is looking for. Now, multiple times, he talks about the incorrigible parasite. This is my solution. The parasite's better off outside the country. Now, what about severe mental illness? Are we obligated to take care of that adult who is never going to be able to fully reciprocate for what others give him? Well, I believe Rand can't do this, but religion can. This is where our balance has a guardrail. Religion keeps us from doing bad to a helpless human. And that combination of capitalism with the ethics of religion allows all humanity to uplift one another in a semi-cooperative way, even when it is driven by selfishness to start. More of this book, I'll do that in another video.